So this is our recommended study order because we want you to maintain motivation throughout your prep. I've seen a lot of candidates stick to the weekend mode of study where they'll try to put 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday and then nothing. What happens in this case is by the time the next weekend comes, you would have already forgotten whatever you studied the previous weekend, because that's how mind works. Throughout the week, you will be busy in a lot of activities and you won't be revising it, and you will forget everything that you learned. What you will do is you will probably reread or rewatch the content and build some familiarity with the content instead of mastering it and putting it into your practice mode. So this is our recommended study order. You should start with alternative investments. You would have completed 10% within the first week. You then move on to ethics. You will complete close to 20% within another week or two, depending on how fast you are able to learn through these things. And then you should move to what we call the accounting or the quant stack. So let me show it to you on the app. If you are a candidate with accounting background, you should move to the quant stack. What do I mean by the quant stack? It is these three volumes: quantitative methods, fixed income, and derivatives. Why do we recommend this? Because you are already high on momentum from completing the first two modules. And if you have an accounting background, these three topics are very new to you and will be the most challenging for you to learn. So this approach uses the Goldilocks principle of learning, challenging enough to engage you, but not so difficult that it demotivates you. You start with your weaker stack while you're riding high on momentum from the first two modules. And similarly, if you are a candidate with a quantitative background, you need to start with the accounting stack, which is financial reporting and analysis, equity investments, corporate issuers. The beauty about these stacks is that they have high interdependency. Anything you learn in quantitative methods will be utilized in fixed income and your derivatives volume. Similarly, in the accounting stack, anything you learn in financial reporting is directly used in equity and corporate issuers. After you are done with this, you need to switch the stacks. So if you are doing account stack, then move to accounting stack, because now you will be in your comfort zone. By doing the tougher stack first, you can keep those volumes and learning modules in your rotation. That way, you are maximizing your scoring potential, because first you have alternative investments and ethics, which you need to absolutely master. Those 50 questions, anything comes on the exam, you are not going to miss. Then you have your tougher stack, which will probably require a little more practice than your comfort stack. So you need to keep practicing the questions from those stack, and that's why we do it earlier. And then you move to your comfort stack, where you can practice relatively lesser also, but still pass. Lastly, we have economics and portfolio management. Now, these topics we have kept for last, because once you have understood the financial intermediaries, financial instruments, now it makes more sense to layer upon the macroeconomics and microeconomics so that you can appreciate the nuances of how financial analysis really works. Now you will be able to see how demand and supply and the various monetary policy or fiscal policy changes affect the choice of decisions you make. Lastly, we have portfolio management. You will be able to appreciate portfolio management more, because you will be able to see how these asset classes can be allocated to generate superior returns and how portfolio managers actually do it. So that's why we'll do it in the end, because it will provide a very good overview of how to use all the previous volumes that you have studied into building a portfolio. So